6-year-old Randy is the mother of a 4-year-old son, has been stripping for over 7 years. Let's meet her. Come on out, Randy. Randy, I'm going to give you a moment to catch your breath and put that microphone on. Randy's younger brother, Greg, and mom, Linda, by the way, both strongly disapprove of Randy's dancing, and they're backstage, and they're going to join us in a minute. We're going to talk about this from a family point of view. So, Jeanette, can we start with you? You have children?
Two.
2 children.
I have a 7-year-old and a 2-year-old who will be 3 in September.
Okay, who takes care of your 3-year-old when you're dancing? I mean, does she come to the clubs?
I have a babysitter that travels with me, and she never comes to the club. She won't.
Just that I wasn't dancing. And finally I told her I was, but it was only bikini, and then she came in and saw me, and she thought it was horrible, but appreciated the fact that I was dancing well, but that was about it. She didn't appreciate the bar at all. And so that basically is when I told her the truth, and she hated it. She absolutely hated it.
You know your brother Greg and your mother Linda are embarrassed about what you do. You know that,
Yes,
you
I
know
do.
they're here, right?
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
Like I said, I'm sorry if it embarrasses them. I don't mean to be an embarrassment, and I think everything else that I am is not an embarrassment, so this is a very minuscule thing.
Right.
The rest of me, I'm a very warm-hearted person, I'm a very intelligent person, so as far as that goes, I'm a good person, and what I do for a living shouldn't be of any consequence to them. But I'm sorry.
Let's talk to them. Come on out, Greg and Linda. You, Linda, were backstage watching your daughter. What were you thinking?
She's got more brains than to use her body.
But she enjoys what she's doing.
I have a job that I feel is kind of respectful, and I do better than my sister does. That does something, in my opinion, and a lot of people would probably back me in the audience, and a lot of brothers and fathers of sisters and daughters that do this would definitely agree with me that you can find better ways if you apply yourself to make money and do something.
To make the same amount of money that you
Oh,
can
most
make?
definitely, most definitely.
How much do you make?
Any anesthesiologist in this country makes much more than you or my sister will ever make.
Well, yeah, after you go
If you go to school. But the
After
whole
you
point
go
is,
through school.
I've seen you spend so much time on these sketches, on these shows about how you're going to do this and how you're going to do that. Spend that time studying, I guarantee you're going to get something out of it in the long run.
15 years. Tara, did you tell your family about your dancing from the start?
No,
You did not
no.
either.
I told my mother I was a bartender for about a year, and I told her I was bartending. It was in the combat zone in Boston, and after a year, she said, "You're not tending bar, you're dancing." And she was more upset that I lied to her than about what I was doing for a
But
living.
are they all right with it, your family?
Yeah, my mother said that she might not approve of what her children decide to do in their lives, but they're her children, and she loves them, and she will support them in their decisions.
You were a welfare mother. Explain what happened.
Well, I was a dancer for a long time, and I got pregnant, and my daughter's natural father loved me, loved me, loved me, loved me. He knew I was a dancer, but when I got pregnant, he said, "You're a slut, you're a stripper, I don't want anything to do with you." So I worked as long as I could, I saved my money, and I paid off all the bills that I could, and I got a nice apartment. But children are expensive, and I didn't realize the expense, and I ended up on welfare. And it's
You
really...
stopped stripping.
Yeah, well, I was out to here. I couldn't work anymore. And I had a difficult pregnancy, so I couldn't get a waitress job or any kind of a job. My last few months, I was flat on my back, so I couldn't do anything. So I ended up on welfare, which was about the lowest point of my life. And the allotment they gave us was not enough to live on, so...
It's an honest living. People out there on welfare not working. She's making money. We bought a house. We're saving money. What's wrong with it?
Now meet Susan Carpenter McMillan. Susan, also a mother, is the president of the Women's Coalition in Los Angeles. Thank you for coming out and being with us. Talk to me first about stripping. Are women losing respect today?
Well, I have to say, I know that I am risking the wrath of all of you to jump on me, but I've got to tell you, as somebody who is very pro-family, conservative, but also a feminist, I want to either shake them or hug them. I mean, I look at these women, every one of them is gorgeous and beautiful, and I just want to shake them and say, why are you throwing your lives away like this?
It's not
I hear things about, well, it's my children, it's this, it's that. It's almost, if you can have a baby and a husband who says it's okay, then it validates all of this. Well, I'm sorry. It doesn't validate it. It's wrong, it's degrading.
Stripper. Sandy was a stripper. In the 60s, Sandy?
Yes.
Sandy now owns her own strip club. And she says that what they have to do today is disgusting, bumping and grinding and caressing poles and rolling around on the floor. Now, a woman said, I think it's beautiful, I think it's an art form, one of our guests in the audience. Was it at one time?
Yes, it
In the
was.
era of Gypsy Rose Lee, was it beautiful? Was
Yes,
it a
it
dance
was.
form?
Yes, it was.
What was the difference? What
Well, the
did they-
difference is we wore beautiful costumes, rhinestones, sequins. We had the music that went with the costumes. It was a show. We didn't know what floor work was. We didn't know what it was to swing from a pole, a swing, anything like that. It was actual art, and it was beautiful.
And what happened?
I don't know if it came into the 90s or a change of personality of the type of girl that went into the business. But as far as California, I don't know about every other.
No, Pashon is not a stripper. Well, sort
play
of.
one.
Sort of. Pashon is the actress who portrayed the stripper Sabrina Hepburn in the movie Striptease. So it's an acting job, right? We wanted to talk to you because we wanted to know, well, first, what kind of character was Sabrina?
Sabrina Hepburn, actually in the movie, when I dance as a cat, which I know, you like that? I wasn't sure how most strippers were going to take that because I was in full cat makeup and full cat costume.
Phenomenal.
And it was more like Cats, the Broadway show, than anything that I'd ever seen in a strip joint, but I was happy because it was different. So my character was Sabrina Hepburn, and she was the most intelligent of the strippers at the Eagle Beaver Club.
Where Demi Moore danced.
Actually, aside from Demi Moore, her character was very intelligent also.
What, is this the first time you've ever played a stripper?
Actually, it's not. It's not. It's actually the third time, but hopefully the last, because I'd like to branch out into some other areas. But I played a stripper in an independent film that
As I listen to this, I also look at Greg, and I think if there were more men like Greg in this country, less women would be having to strip to make money to raise their children. Number one, I don't at all fault the women here. They're all bright, smart women. And you know, if they paid teachers $7,000 every 2 weeks, they might have chosen the teaching profession. So, you know. On the third front, you know, we have a problem with women, unfortunately, in this country, at some time in their life, going to be responsible for their whole future. 90% of the women are going to have to be totally responsible for their finances. You better darn well get a marketable skill because this is not going to last long. And so every woman in this country, if you choose to make money doing this, you better go to school during the day, you better learn computers, you better get out there and learn to do something. And
if they had a marketable skill,
they better have a marketable skill. You marry
they
a guy
wouldn't
who's
be
got a lot-
doing this, or they'd be doing it and they would have something to go to.
Every woman in this country has an obligation to herself and her kids to be able to provide for their family. And it can't be this forever. It's unfortunate. But if it makes you happy, do it. Think ahead.